This is the first of our controller bikes. It is a 1100 V-Star. It's got some custom pieces on it, some custom pipes, custom seat, air intake. This is like every other bike I've ever owned and driven, and it's fantastic. It sounds great, it looks great, and let's take a look at it.
Starts up nice. Got a real nice sound. That's that 1100 for you. Just let it warm up a little. Not much on the dash going on here, just our speedometer and this bike does have a heated hand grips, which is really nice. I think driving back and forth to work, it's going to be pretty good. Can really extend my days going in early, and could really be nice if it's raining out or whatever. Being a commuter bike, I think that's really nice. They heat up really nice and fast. Now here's a problem. I'm getting out of the driveway. It's a little big and heavy, and getting in and out of a parking spot at work in the mall may be a little more troublesome than a nice little bike. This particular bike has a heel toe shifter, which I've never ever taken advantage of whenever I've had one. But going to work in dress shoes might be a nice option to have. Just so I keep my shoes in good shape. Lots of power coming off the line with this bike. It's not what I would call quick, but it is very powerful. Definitely could throw another person on the back of this and head out on the highway for a few hours. Nice day trips, or even a long trip. Riding position is really comfortable on this. The feet are forward, but they're not so far forward like if I was using a highway pegs or anything like that. This does have the floorboards on it as well, so that, I don't know, that makes it a little more comfortable, I guess. You can move your feet around a little bit on it. I don't know that that's going to be too big of a deal when I get on a bike, ride back and forth to work. It is big and heavy, that's for sure, this sucker. But that gives you some stability once you get up on higher speeds. You'll notice that once I turn around here on the highway. Trying to pass somebody there coming around the light, and yeah, there's lots of power, and yeah, it's faster and more agile than what a car typically is. but it's not as quick and agile as what a smaller, a little bit lighter bike would be, I think. And I've always felt that these bigger bikes in traffic don't feel as, I guess, agile or comfortable cutting in and out. That power does feel good though. Sure sounds nice too. Now, this being a Yamaha, it does backfire as you roll off the throttle heavy. That seems to be typical for a Yamaha. And even though I said it doesn't feel that agile, I'm having no problem getting in and out of traffic here. Windshield on this bike too. Typical with these kind of bikes, I find everybody gets a 1100 Shadow or an 1100 V-Star, puts a great big windshield on it first thing because they want to do some touring on it, which is nice to have that wind off your body for sure, especially if you're going to be on the highway like this. Problem going highway speeds on this. Again, nice and solid. You really get that feeling that you're on the road or you're stuck to the road, and you can just cruise along here going in a nice straight line forever and ever. Braking seems to be okay. It's far from a performance bike, so it's not stopping on a dime, it's not grabbing, but it brakes, I guess, good enough, as good as you need it really to brake. And it corners just about as good as you want to necessarily have to corner. Again, it's not a performance bike, so I'm not going to be racing on it, anything like this. All in all, I think this bike is good and solid, and it's comfortable to ride as long as you're going pretty straight and holding one speed. It's a little bit sluggish, but that's what this bike is for. It's a cruiser. You head out on the highway and just move around there. Again, they're all over the place, this type of bike, and they're really reasonably priced, and they're pretty reliable, low maintenance, shaft driven on this, so very low maintenance with everything. And you know, it's much better than being in a car on a day like today, for sure. I think the biggest thing that deters me from really wanting a bike like this is it is like everything else I've ever driven. I've always driven Viragos and Shadows and V-Stars, and they all kind of seem the same to me. You know, I got great big tank between my legs. I've got lots of gear up here to take a look at. You know, there's lots between me and the road, and something just a little simpler and slimmer, a little more agile is what I'm looking for. Again, mostly back and forth to work. Something this big is just, it's difficult in a parking lot. It's difficult in a slow traffic kind of a situation. As long as you're moving it's pretty agile, but when you're going slow, when you're trying to park, it's not as good. Yeah, this bike was built for the open road and not for the city at all.